Fine, funny, and fucking money. You got some crazy standards, huh?
These hypotheticals have got us in a chokehold, and we must free ourselves. It's fun to argue about. It's fun to talk about what you would do in this scenario, or would you leave the game if the seats were high, or if a man took you this place on a first date, what you would do. And I'm telling you, like, every interaction that I have with people now, in some way or another, these things come up. Can we just keep it a buck? If they're fine enough, if they're funny enough, or if their financial status is what you want. Fine, funny, fucking money. You're throwing all boundaries, standards, all that shit you talked on Instagram about how you would never, and this woman ain't cute because women this and men this. You're moving forward with this.
Juicy. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Nerd Chronicles with your host, the socially awkward nerd, Christian Paul speaking. And ladies and gentlemen, I want to discuss more about Miss Pass Around, right? Juicy! Now, before I actually get to the full detail of the whole bombshell lawsuits that we're gonna dig into Joy Taylor exclusively, is like the last part. We discuss more about Charlie Dixon as well as Skip Bayless. This time here, we got a special episode specifically for Joy Taylor and women like her. But before we dig deep into Joy's situation, or Joy's alleged situation, I want to try and discuss about the definition and history of Miss Pass Around. So the definition of Miss Pass Around is basically a woman that fucks multiple men, man after man after man after man. And there's various types of Miss Pass Arounds, and obviously we understand who Miss Pass Around is. She is clearly for the streets. She belongs to the streets. Juicy. She could be a prostitute. She could be a literal 304. She could definitely be a professional escort that knows how to handle her business cleanly. And then there are those that actually wants to play the 304 role and the pass around role in the hopes to advance up the ladder in the business in corporate America or in the corporate world. Now, the ladders of those types is the most dangerous. Now, these other types, no disrespect to them. We're not mad at them for actually just doing whatsoever. If they want to just do some stripping, if they want to actually just, do the whole pay for play thing, be the pass around just for profit, more power to you, as long as you actually know how to get it, as long as you know how to actually handle your money, as long as you actually take care of your health and take care of yourself. It's no big issue, there's no big problems at all. You know what I'm saying? If there's not really like a romantic relationship is there's no big problem. Definitely wish you guys well. No harm, no shade, no hate. Right? But the big issue is when you're seeing Miss Pass Around up in corporate America, but a job, basically sleeping around with multiple men in the hopes to advance her career, especially men in the higher up positions that are up in the corporate world. And that is the most dangerous type of woman that you literally have to be dealing with in corporate America.
I dub them princess boys because clearly they want the princess treatment. And being a woman of substance and means, I can provide that for them. Now, there's things that I want in exchange for taking care of a princess boy. And, if that is what men are interested in behaving like, I feel like I can do that. I can be that person for you. I can give you an experience you've never had. Can we just keep it a buck? If they're fine enough, if they're funny enough, or if their financial status is what you want. Fine, funny, fucking money. You're throwing all boundaries, standards, all that shit you talked on Instagram about how you would never, and this woman ain't because women this and men this. You're moving forward with this person.
Juicy. Now, Joy Taylor, right? She is one of those Miss Pass-Arounds, right? Up at your job that will literally fuck any man that's up in the higher ups just to try to boost her brand and try to boost her reputation and to actually boost herself up in the corporate ladder of Fox Sports. Allegedly. And I say keyword allegedly, because there's going to be much more info up in that lawsuit that we may not know of at the time of this recording. And again, the lawsuit is up in its initial stages. The litigation lawsuit, excuse me. And take note, it's a civil lawsuit, is in its initial stages. So I can't really say that she actually did it definitely until there's an actual settlement that's going on. So again, it's all alleged. If it's true, we know what the mindset Joy Taylor actually mainly has, and we know the type of shitty character that she mainly has at the end of the day, that she would literally do anything. She has no morals when it comes for herself and standards. Whenever she sees a guy of top tier status that she wants to actually try and take power from, she would throw all standards outside the window. Right? Look at what she did, sleeping with a married man. Keyword, married with children in Charlie Dixon. Was more than likely, with all that rumors was going on and him going berserk and actually trying to abuse his power, I would not be surprised if the divorce mainly happens soon. I wouldn't be surprised if that's the case, right? Not only that, she been fucking Emmanuel Acho as well. Allegedly. And I say, keyword, allegedly. So she had been the alleged company whore during the time up at Fox Sports 1. Juicy! These are the types of women, right? When you get on their bad side, after you actually just have like a couple rounds up in the bedroom, have your bedroom fun, whenever they get iffy, whenever they feel unready, and all of a sudden you have like some sort of moral compass when you're higher up, when you choose to fire him, these are going to be the same women that will literally drop a Me Too lawsuit. Not only just trying to get at you civilly, but possibly get at you criminally as well by twisting up the words, getting you caught up in like some sexual harassment scheme or a false sexual assault charge or a false rape charge. These are the types of women that will more than likely do it. Now, as I stated before in the previous video regarding this lawsuit, right? It is very, 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 very important to stay away from the mispass-arounds at your job if you don't have any sincere relationship with that woman and she doesn't show thorough loyalty to you and she's just focused specifically on a higher up. And if you're a position that's of higher up and if you're the CEO or the executive, you have to be extremely, extremely cautious with these types of women. And I was definitely not advisable to actually trying to date a woman that's of lower tier status, or if you're actually trying to get with somebody, just get with someone that's outside of your job or outside of your company that doesn't even work in your position. Right? It's definitely best to say that, but again, it's easier said than done. You know what I'm saying? These are the things you have to be really careful. Otherwise, when you get caught up in a situation, you could be in like a similar path with Charlie Dixon, with the potential literally being Me Too'd if you're not careful. Now, it's different if you're in like the same similar positions. If you're like in same positions, maybe that can work. But those relations up in the workplace, especially when you're higher up and they're like more lower tier and you're the employee and the employees, it could be a very, 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 very iffy risk to deal with. Unless you definitely know each other definitely outside before she joined. Unless, you guys have like some strong family ties and you guys trust each other very well. It could be possible. Elsewise, if you're dealing with a woman that you don't know, you do not know where her mindset is. You don't know what her mindset is like or what her intentions mainly are. And due to the fact that you have so much stuff on your plate, if you do not thoroughly vet her on a personal level, and if you don't minimize all these counteractions, right, when it comes with women and everything else, you can literally be screwed down the wayside. Your brand can be ruined, as well as your reputation can literally be being ruined also. Now, it's not just the highly exec that actually are affected by this. Other women that actually look up into the moral route, that bled their asses off in their company just to move up the rankings, just to try and be executives, that work their butts off every single day, dealing with long hours, early mornings, late nights, just to get into positions, being qualified like the way they are, having higher education degrees, given the credential losses they have, busting their butts off, busting their asses off, to the point where they got to today. That also puts a stain on their reputation, because you got some women that are more than willing to be Mr. Pastor on the job just to bypass the grueling hours and this is bypass grueling work, just so they can literally get an easier shot down to the top. And it is a disgrace to those other people, those other women that have mainly bled their ass off and then been in that company for so many number of years, training certain figures, and they leapfrog over them, or they actually working the same job, actually excelling up in their role, but yet they haven't really gotten promoted, they haven't had an advancement or promotion over the years ahead. It's a huge slap in the face to these women as well. And what I would say to those women that follow the moral compass, to the women that actually have bled their butts off and definitely have unloyal marriages, have their own kids of their own, not really causing havoc, not really trying to wreck any marriages or any of that stuff. You know what I'm saying? And you see, situations like this where you got other co-workers in situations where they got themselves impregnated while they're married. Just like in the situation with Ime Udoka, right? You see like some women actually got themselves impregnated by other co-workers just by being side pieces while being married, just in the hopes of actually trying to get themselves up to the top rank. Crazy shit. To actually try and combat this stuff, I would definitely consider looking for other jobs. I would consider definitely improving and bolstering your resume. I consider building your brand up, utilizing social media to your leverage so that you'll be able to actually build your individual personal brand, so you'll be able to actually get yourself as much leverage as you can, so that whenever the time actually comes by, your resume is improved. Also, you can definitely look to actually apply to other jobs and see if other talents or other companies are looking to actually hire you based on your body of work. And if they give you a higher pay with a higher position and they treat you better, I would suggest you actually leave the company that you're in and go to that new one, actually just start anew and enjoy your future endeavors there. Because all that is, what you're seeing up there, when you're seeing other women actually try and play the passion role, this advance, it basically shows a toxic culture up in that corporate business.
Juicy!
So to sum it up, to sum all this up, if you as a man want to actually get with Miss Pass Around, as long as she's not working in your company or in any other company, you know what I'm saying? If she's outside work, if that's actually playing around and she's not in your company, fine. If she's a stripper, if she's a prostitute, fine. That's your business. Live your life. If she's an escort, that's also fine too. And can't be mad at that. I ain't hating whatsoever. The issue becomes is when it sees the Miss Pass Around up in your job. It is extremely dangerous and it is extremely concerning. And a lot of reputations have been ruined over this. Even the Miss Pass Around reputation up in the jobs has been ruined as well. And whether it's settled or not, regardless of how the outcome's going to be, Jory Taylor's reputation is going to be a stain for a very, 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 very long time. You know what I'm saying? I would not be surprised if more chaos actually comes out, and it happens. And it's not just limited to Fox. It's limited to all over the corporate world. When you got that type of crazy stuff actually mainly going on up in these streets, when you actually try to create that type of toxic culture, it drags everybody here, puts a stain on people's resumes, it puts a stain on people's brands. If you're not careful, if you're not conscious, it basically ruins things for everyone. And yes, all that harsh criticism and all that egg that Joy Taylor has literally been blasted all over social media and literally getting dragged through the mud, getting belittled, all on social media, and actually getting shamed on social media is understandably so and rightfully so. Although it's alleged, right? And notice, she said nothing throughout this whole time when the lawsuit came out. She just kept it hush because her lawyers are actually just telling her, keep your mouth shut. Wait till the court case is actually done. Wait till settlement comes in. She's actually just following the advice of the lawyers right now. Actually trying to keep things mum in the moment. But I'm not going to actually judge by this. But even if she ain't even guilty, she literally put herself in that position, just because one of her former friends in Nusi Faraji was basically told by Joy Taylor that, it's part of the culture. In the moment that Faraji was trying to check her from actually saying why are you doing actually sleeping with multiple men at the same time? And she's like, it's just business. And if they fire me, I got a high position. I meet to them. It's part of the culture. That's what Joy said up in them documents. If she actually truly did lie, or if there's actually lying that actually came by, she may have actually immediately said something with some counter proof. It wouldn't have been a problem because not much done as yet, or the lawyer advised actually keep their mouth shut. Again, when you put yourself in extreme vulnerable positions, up at your job, anything that you definitely say with actually no type of legal defense whatsoever, it could literally drag you on, possibly for the rest of your days. And I'm going to leave it at that, ladies and gentlemen. When it comes to the workplace, do your best to be as moral and as professional as possible without getting caught up in all these crazy, chaotic roadblocks along the way. And I'm going to leave it at that, ladies and gentlemen. Chris and Paul from the Nerd Chronicles is signing out. Deuces.
Baffling to me how two people will be seeing each other and sneaking around behind their significant other's back, hooking up on that sneaky link culture. Then they break up with these significant others and all of a sudden decide to start dating each other in a monogamous relationship. And what's baffling about that, when shit starts, the karma starts coming back around on them, they want to sit there and get mad and be all confused. Like, that's how you met the person that you sleeping with. Y'all was sneaking around sleeping with each other. Why now all of a sudden when she starts doing it to you or he starts doing it to you, it's a surprise. Like, make that make sense. People are crazy, bro.
Juicy!